Hello, hello, this is Tom Sapp, Tom Sapp Photography, tomsapp.com if you want to check me out. What we're going to do right now is photograph glass beads. So this is how to photograph glass beads. The most important thing to remember when you're photographing glass or anything translucent is that if you backlight it, you see through the subject, whereas if you front light it, it's going to reflect whatever it is that you're lighting it with. So in this situation, I'm actually side lighting it if I take a picture where I'm sitting here. So basically what I've got is a light coming through more at a 45 degree from behind than directly in front, just because I want to be able to see through it. Okay, you can also light the background, and that can give you, instead of actually lighting the subject, you can light the background, and that'll give you more of a silhouette. You'll get a black line around the glass object instead of just actually seeing through the actual glass itself. But I'm using the cameraman's light here. He's got a light in front of me, and we're just going to do regular consistent lighting instead of strobe lighting, and because of that I've chose the 35 1.2D Nikon makes, and the reason I did that isn't because it shoots at 1.2. I'm actually shooting at, let's see, 4.5, 5.6 is what I was going to do, because I'm getting in very, very close. So what that does is it takes that, if I was shooting at 1.2, it gives me less than a couple millimeters in focus here. So I need at least about an inch, half inch or so. So I went up to f4.5, 5.6, and that's going to take that depth of field and open it up to about that much. So that's what I wanted to get, and make sure I get at least one whole glass bead in focus, and then the rest of them I'd like to blur out in the background, so I'm angling the lens up a little bit. But the reason that you're going to see the clarity that you do is because we've got light shining from the side or slightly behind, and then over here we've got the cameraman's light that's got light shining from the side or directly behind as well. So what I'm getting is basically really good color, and it shows the true color of the glass. Now we're going to go ahead and take a picture here. So I'm going to focus the bead closest to me, take 2 frames, test it. I've already set the camera, set the settings on the camera, but what I did was basically I'm using Kelvin temperature, so I got the 2 lights are both daylight balanced, so we're using daylight balanced consistent lights, and then I'm shooting 3200 on my D3 because it has very, very good high ISOs, where some cameras you would need to stay around 400 and shoot at maybe a longer shutter speed. I've got my shutter right now is at 500th of a second at f4 at 3200, and I'm getting absolutely beautiful photographs, as you'll see in just a second. But basically the most important thing you want to remember with glass is that you backlight it. And what you can also do is take a black piece of cardboard, and you can stick it, as long as the light source is very big, you can stick it right in front of that light source is coming from behind, and that will give you that rim light. It'll give you a black, or actually a white line around the subject, where in this case you get more of a black line because you're shooting through the subject. So you're actually reflecting the light as a little specular highlight, and then the rest of it is a slightly black line around the outside. But that's how to photograph glass. Tom Sapp, Tom Sapp Photography. Thank you so much for listening.